Hey guys, it's Luke here and welcome back to another video. You join me today with my Golf R, which is actually looking, well, absolutely filthy. I cleaned this thing yesterday, but the roads here in the UK at this time of year are so salty and so grimy that already it is now a state. You join me up here today in Sheffield, up at Cobra Sport with the Golf R, of course. Now, all three cars have been here to Cobra to have one of their exhausts fitted. Now, actually already on the car is the Cobra Sport Downpipe. Basically what we're having done today is basically the rest of the exhaust, the Catback. And I'll explain more about my choice of exhaust a little bit later on in the video. Now, before we show you the exhaust and of course get the car inside, I'd just like to give a few words to the sponsor of today's video, Carly Connected Car. Carly is a useful little device used to access your car's data through the OBD port, showing health statistics, history checks, and to even unlock hidden features. Now here on my Golf R, the OBD port is just in the driver's footwell, so we're just going to plug the Carly device in, get it connected via the app, and then we can have a little play. Okay, so here we are now in the car. The car is currently running. We've got Carly up on my phone in front of me. Now, as you can see here, we've got the main features. We can do a health check, we can do some customization, and we can also do a used car check, which basically just checks if there's any mileage discrepancies or things like that. Useful if you're going to buy a car, take the Carly with you, and you can do a check whilst you're there. Let's go into the customization. We're going to check coding possibilities. So I'm going to check basically all the ECUs within the car. I think there's 9, if I remember correctly. We can basically go into each individual category and see what we can code in. I stand corrected, it's actually 8 ECUs, my mistake. Anyway, as we can see here, we've got loads of different categories. For example, the top one, basically electronics, brake lights, brightness levels, that kind of thing. Let's just go into, I don't know, gateway. Here we go. I spy a start stop, because that is one thing on this car which I hate having to do every time I stop and start the car. Now, one thing you just saw on screen there, the backup is made every time you do any coding. So if you do mess up, press the wrong button or anything, a backup is made of the original factory kind of settings, so you don't have to worry about anything like that. Now, as you can see here, right at the top of the screen, we have automatic engine start stop. That is currently turned off, meaning that it doesn't automatically remember what the button is pressed. So we're going to change that to on. And then press code now. Remember, a backup is made. Agreed, code now. So I'm going to write that into the vehicle's ECU, and then I will no longer have to press that button every time I turn the car on. There we go, coding was successful. Please turn the ignition off and on again. And there we go, button is on. Perfect. Well, system is off, button is on, if that makes any sense. Now, as you can see on here, there is 1,000,001 things which you can code and do on here, but we're not going to go through all that, otherwise we'll be here all day. Yes, I do like it. I'm going to rate it 5 stars. Thank you very much. But yeah, like I said, you can do things like use car checks, health checks, that kind of thing if you've got any warning lights on the dash. But yeah, all in all, it's just a handy little tool to have in your car. But yeah, big thank you to Carly for sponsoring today's video. These guys have supported me for a very long time on the channel, so a big thank you to those guys. And you can get yourself a nice little discount using the information on screen and in the video description. Anyway, with that said, let's get cracking with the main part of today's video. Now, before we do get the car inside the workshop and the work underway, some of you guys may have already noticed this actually from the intro, but I have actually fitted a nice carbon diffuser to the car. The stock one really isn't anything special. This one is a full carbon diffuser. I thought with the new exhaust going on and of course new tips, it'll be right to do a diffuser upgrade as well. Now, the fitment on this one isn't the best, to be honest, so I'm kind of hoping that all is okay in terms of fitting the exhaust on, but yeah, does look pretty cool actually, and it kind of does make me think that I do need a little bit of a lip spoiler on the back as well to complement the diffuser. Having said that, I don't really want to go too mad with the aesthetics of the car, mainly because other aspects of it are going to really draw your eye, and I don't really feel like I need to do a proper body kit or anything, at least at this stage of the build. But anyway, with that said, I think we'll get the car inside, up on the ramp, show you guys the exhaust which is going on the car, and then of course do the obvious, get it fitted. Okay, so that is the last stock startup of this car. Of course, we already have the downpipe fitted, but at least the remainder of the exhaust all going to be changing. Now, like I mentioned, actually, this is now, well, with this thing being now on site here at Cobra, it means that all 3 of the cars have been here to have exhaust fitted. Of course, first of all, with the M140i for the infamous OPF delete, which then later on had the Cobra Sport Downpipe fitted as well. And then the Mark V GTI not so long ago for a non-resonated catback. Then, of course, the downpipe for this car, which was fitted off-site. And now it is time for the resonated catback. As you can see, car being reversed into the workshop to get this thing fitted. Okay, so here we are inside the workshop now. First of all, apologies due to the background noise. Of course, this is an active workshop, plenty of exhaust being fabricated and made up in-house here. So yeah, apologies for any background noise. But here is essentially my exhaust. Now, starting off with the tips, we've got a set of 4-inch tips going on the car. Nice big cannons, of course, the Golf R infamously 4 tips on the back. We are, of course, sticking with that. So those are going to look really cool in a polished finish as well. Now, basically, due to the kind of background and aim with my car being a track car, I don't want it being too loud. Hence why we've gone for a resonated system. Now, this, in short, is Cobra's 3-inch system. It's going to match up to the Cobra Sport Downpipe, which is already on the car. So, of course, resonated system with the valved back box. And we can see here the brackets for the valves. Those are going to be swapped out from the OEM valves on the car. Basically, when you go from normal mode to race mode or eco mode, if you drive like a flannel. But yeah, this is essentially the exhaust going on the car. Of course, some awesome TIG welds, as always, from the guys at Cobra. And how it works, obviously we've got 2 separate pipes here. Now, when the valves are open or the car is in race mode, essentially this acts as a bit of a back box delete. So there's basically straight pipe tubing within the back box, and then when the valves are closed, and then you've got baffled tubing in this section of the back box, which then basically makes it a lot quieter. So that is the plan. Now, I don't think it's going to be excessively loud, but you know me, it'll probably end up being a lot louder than I imagine. But with the resonator as well, that was a must for me for this car. But anyway, looking lovely. Shame that it's going to be hidden underneath the car for, well, the rest of its life, essentially. But yeah, these tips are awesome. Really, really nice looking tips. Of course, with the Cobra emblems on all 4 of them. Anyway, let's get this all fitted. And then, of course, we can get the car outside, get a sound test, compare it to what it was like stock, and then take it for a first drive and go have some fun and make some noise. It's a bit loud, isn't it? Oh, it's actually quite a bit louder than what I was thinking, actually, but sounds good. Sounds really good. I think I might tone down the pops and bangs. Wasn't really a fan of them from when the car was mapped anyway, when it went stage 3. So probably going to get those toned down, but yeah, it's it's come alive now. absolute riot. Absolute riot. Especially on wet roads. Now I'm actually now in the Peak District. Thought it would be a nice way to finish off the video. Some lovely roads around here. It's a shame it is a little bit damp, but some awesome roads around here. It is quite addictive, actually. It is quite addictive. Bearing in mind I've got the valves open, obviously, right now. But I have just realised that my fuel gauge is really rather low, and I don't think I'll be finding a Tesco fuel station anywhere around here. So I think that, mixed with the fact that it is getting dark very quickly, I'm gonna have to wrap up the video here. And actually, I'm not gonna put it in eco mode, because I've never put this car in eco mode, and I never will. We'll resort to normal mode. But yeah, I need to try and find a fuel station. And fingers crossed I don't run out, because my tank is actually reading 5 miles left now, which is actually rather alarming. But anyway, that is besides the point. A big thank you to the guys up at Cobra Sport for fitting the exhaust for me today, and actually being a continuous supporter of the channel. All 3 of my cars now have Cobra Sport exhaust systems. This car, of course, running the full turbo back Cobra system as well. But yeah, that is it for me today. I hope you guys have enjoyed. You can, of course, find all the details to Cobra down in the description down below. But like I mentioned, that is it for today's video. I hope you guys have enjoyed. If you have, please do make sure you leave a like, and make sure to subscribe for all the adventures still to come. That is actually really alarming. 5 miles left, and I am nowhere near a fuel station.